The other thing I came to learn as I got money, and it was almost like someone pulled the curtain back for me, is how wealthy individuals play the tax game.
Oh my gosh.
And it's a tax game that the average person has no idea is going on.
Got to talk about money. Tax avoidance is a key skill to building wealth. And by the way, we don't talk about, I speak openly about I won't call it tax avoidance, but my tax strategies. If you're, it's like they said, if you're a prisoner of war, you have an obligation to escape. If you're trying to build wealth, you have an obligation to pay as little tax as possible. Do it legally, but Apple will issue their IP to Apple International in Ireland, and then they will use Apple Ireland. They will license their IP to America, charge them tens of billions of dollars, thereby increasing the income of Apple Ireland at a lower tax rate and decreasing the income in the US, thereby lowering their overall tax rate. That is pure tax avoidance. Every organization, every corporation does this to the hilt, and so should you. By the way, I will vote for people who have an alternative minimum tax. We have to raise taxes on corporations. The 25 wealthiest Americans pay between 6 and 8% tax rate.
What are the tax games they're playing?
Oh,
The rich people.
there's a bunch of them. First and foremost, it's you buy stocks, you never sell them, you borrow against them.
Okay, explain that to me like I'm a 10-year-old. So,
Sure, you own $100 in Amazon stock.
yeah.
You need money to buy something instead of selling the stock, and say it's gone up 50%. I say it's doubled. You would have to realize a capital gain and pay long-term capital gains on that $50 gain. No, just borrow against it and let the stock continue to grow. And you pay a little bit of interest, hopefully from your current income, but basically it's invest, borrow against it, and die. Put it into a trust and then pass it on to your kids. There's a lot of state arbitrage. Jeff Bezos just moved to Florida to spend more time with dad. Isn't that sweet, Stephen? Isn't that nice? No, it has nothing to do with his father. Give me a fucking break. He aggregated $160 billion in wealth. He would pay about another 8 or 10% in state taxes in Washington because he's got to leverage the public school system, the University of Washington, the Seattle-Tacoma Airport, the hospital system. But in the U.S., you're allowed to peace out to Texas or Florida and pay no income tax. So all the people shitpost in California or New York, show me someone who's all of a sudden can't handle San Francisco politics. I'm going to show you someone who needs to recognize a capital gain and has all of a sudden decided they like Texas politics. It's really not it's very disingenuous. There's the tax loophole I've leveraged. In the US, there's something called 1202 or qualified small business. So when I started L2,
What's L2?
L2 is my analytics company. I started it. I invested a small amount of money. Because it was a business worth less than 50 million, your business would qualify in the US as QSB small business. If you hold on to that stock in that company for longer than 5 years, when you sell it, the first 10 million or 10 times the basis are tax-free. So the first 10 million out of L2 was tax-free. Zero. That makes no sense. If that sounds like we're screwing the middle class, trust your instincts. I invested in a company, brought a company out of bankruptcy. I invested $2.5 million. The first 25 million, got very lucky. The company got sold for a lot of money. The first 25 million were tax-free. The tax code has gone from 400 pages to 4,000. And that extra 3,600 pages are to turn rich people into super rich people.